presentation, Toastmasters District 84 Educational Conference. And here he is with this speech entitled, "Whose Life Is It Anyway?" The Toastmaster most likely to have a prop addiction. Toastmaster John Mazzanovich.
Good enough. I speak on self-agency, personal development, and friendships. And while Carson has made it very clear to me that I need to step out of my wheelhouse and speak on something fun or dramatic or plaintive, self-agency and these other subjects are my wheelhouse. They're my passion. They're my mission. They're my future. So deal with it. Plus, I need video footage for my demo reel. But what's not fun about personal development? What's not fun about learning new and wonderful things about yourself that opens up new opportunities to business, friendships, partners? Nothing. Nothing's not fun about that, right? Well, maybe fun is sort of a strong word, but I think if you spend your life doing things you love or don't hate, which includes looking in the mirror, then you will be open for more opportunities for fun. So, what I'm speaking about today is whose life is it anyway? Each of us are born into a unique combination of heritage, ancestry, values, social norms, religion, politics, even our preferences for food, music, and sports teams all contribute to this cultural identity. And cultural identity can have some very, very positive things to it, but it also can be kind of problematic. And why is that? Because it is the original comfort zone. And what do we say about the comfort zone? You got to get out of your comfort zone. You got to learn. You got to grow. That's why a lot of people are in this room, is to learn and grow and get out of their comfort zone. And so that makes it much harder for you to recreate yourself and go on your personal development journey. But also, another problem can be connecting with others that don't share your cultural identity. And these days, in this exploding population that we have in the world, and the multiculturalism that we have, everybody's blending together. We have to learn to understand each other, accept each other, work together, and learn from each other. So I have a question. What do all these elements of cultural identity have in common? I'm talking about values and sports teams and religion and politics. Anybody? You didn't decide any of it. None of us decide this stuff. We're all born into the situations we're born into. Odds are that if you were born in the Middle East, you're going to be Muslim. Odds are that if you're born into a family of UF graduates, you're going to be a Florida graduate. Odds are, if you're born into a family with conservative politics, your politics is going to be conservative or liberal, whatever. And that's just the way it is. And so, yes. So whose life is it anyway? I'll let you ponder that for a second. We're going to get this started. It's not too early, is it? So, my dad always said, everything in moderation, including moderation. Now, he's still around. I haven't heard him say that in quite a while. And he's not in the best of health. And part of it is because of this mantra of his. And I didn't realize this was a part of my cultural identity until just a few months ago. And since then, I've lost 25 pounds because I recognized that and made efforts to change who I was and how I saw myself. And that included cutting way back on the beer. So, to Dad. But, cultural identity can have its very positive points as well. In 1980, I was 13 years old in Prattville, Alabama, and as I've inferred, my parents loved to throw parties. And some of these folks at these parties were some pretty old school Southern folk back in 1980. That was something. And he had a friend, a black man in Montgomery who owned a record shop, and he invited him and his wife to the party. And a couple of these old folks came up to him and said, "Jack, we really don't appreciate you inviting these people to the party." And my dad very politely said, "If you're not comfortable, you're welcome to leave." And that, I think, was the perfect response, because it demonstrates that we all have decisions to make, and he had made his. And it also demonstrates the power of cultural identity and how hard it is to change. And these folks had never changed, but that was a very positive element of cultural identity that I've kept and tried to improve upon, that my parents taught me. And so I was a picky eater. Look at that peanut butter and jelly sandwich. This was a staple of mine up through my early 20s. And it is pure, simple, wonderful for my pure and simple adolescent brain. And my simple adolescent brain still likes them, actually. But it was about that time in my life I started exploring a little bit. This is tiki masala. Look at that. I made that. But if you had showed this to me when I was in my early 20s or my teens or younger, I would have been in Alabama. Ooh, look at that. It's red and it's all vegetable-y. No. But in my mid-20s, I started recreating myself and realizing that I had some agency over my direction. I started trying new things, and I really enjoyed it. Things like tiki masala and studying Buddhism, where I learned about mindfulness, which I got a taste for. They're both from India originally as well. So these are ways that we can learn and grow and change and recreate ourselves. And there are good things about our cultural identity that we should keep and build upon. But we don't want to be too restricted, so we can move forward and grow and develop and make better decisions about our lives moving forward to set us up for success and well-being. So whose life is it anyway? Is it your parents? Is it your teachers? Your pastor? Your big brother? Or is it yours? Thank you.